Long ago, there existed two brothers, and one was viewed as the embodiment of creation itself. I am talking about my very own rendition of Artahka. And hello, this is Tributron here, and I had to say very proudly and confidently, I am happy with how this MOC turned out. As you can see, I basically based the design off of the Great Spirit robot slightly, since a lot of Matoran, and based off the lore of course, misinterpreted Artahka as being Matanui himself. So I wanted to have like some kind of resemblance to Matanui in some shape and form. Possibly the massive creation may have resembled how at least the G1 version, which was never showcased or released, but as you notice, I'm just using the massive creation from Gen 2 because it is a magnificent and beautiful mask. It also has the same engraved writings throughout the mask, the slanted eyes as described, you know, it has that similar descriptions in what the masks look like based off of G1 lore. So there is some similarities there. So hey, maybe it did not look like a HOW after all, but we'll never know, won't we, ladies and gents? And yeah, so based off the overall design, I gave him the tubing underneath between the back and the arms, and the same like piston based design as seen in the legs in comparison to the Great Spirit robot itself. The waist articulation, that is there for a reason, but it helps with expression and displaying, especially when it comes to wielding the hammer. His great and powerful hammer that he just grabbed from his forge. You know, even though I made it look a little bit more, you know, I tried to make it simplistic because the hammer was literally just grabbed from his forge. Like, I don't have any weapons here. What am I going to do? Oh, I got an idea. Let me just grab this hammer from my forge. Totally doesn't sound like a Kimu. Is Artahka and Kimu related? Dun dun dun. But anyways, enough with me bickering, and let's go straight into articulation. So he has full articulation in the ankles. You got side to side movement over here. Got a nice rocker, as you can see. Got okay, and the legs straight. Only this much up movement. That much down when the knee is straight. However, if you have the knee bent, you can get a much more higher tilt upwards. But when the legs are straight, you know, there's no upward movement. However, I think whenever you're doing most poses, the knee will be bent, so you will have no hindrances when it comes to display wise with this figure. The knees, they can bend this much. So I would say basically like a 45 degree, almost a 9, not even close to a 90, but I don't think this would hinder the amount of posing you will be doing with this figure, since basically he is more like stoic and upright. You know, he's not going to be hunching over a lot, you know, due to his character trait. Forward movement this much, backward movement that much. As you can see, his booty cheek moves up and down in tangent with it. Yes, Artahka has the glutes. He has them glutes, yo. Look at them glutes. Ladies, calm yourselves. Alright, it's just Artahka's booty. His magnificent butt. Don't look at it too long, because he has the massive creation, and never mind. I think I'm going too far. Waist articulation, this much back and forth, this much back, this much forwards. Got a nice crunch, got a nice lean as well. Got side to side movement.
not too shabby. Arm articulation goes up this far, and the tubing moves along with it, so that's good. Backward movement this much until literally a segment of it snaps off. Now, oh good. Oh no, no, no! Don't do this to me, Artahka. Please, please, Artahka, no. Have mercy on us weaklings, please. Alright. Forward movement this much, but be careful with it because as you saw, that part disconnects. Already showed upward movement. Elbows, they bend in this much. They can extend outward all the way, and you can break his elbow. Why would you do that? Why would you break his elbow? He does not deserve this. Stop that. What are you doing? What's wrong with you people? Don't break people's elbows. Breaking elbows is bad. Full wrist rotation. Hand flies off like a champ. That is not a good quality trait whatsoever. Please help. Finger articulation. As you can get any gestures out of it. Out of his just simple 3 fingers. Now, I think he would look better if he had like 3 digits and a thumb instead of just the 2 fingers and the thumb. If only. Head on full rotation looks down this far into his own chest. Can lean back this far, and you got plenty of side-to-side movement, so you can get the curious dog look, the face poppage, everything that you love and desire. Now, the hammer. Let's get into this hammer because there is a few things that it has that helps with posing. Now, this connection here can rotate, as you can see, so as well as this section over here can rotate as well. So you can have him hold the hammer whichever which way without any hindrance in. Also in here, you can barely see it, but there's a little bit of green in there. I put some translucent green in there so that it has like kind of similar traits to Ikimo a bit, you know. And yeah, here's that. Now, time for size comparisons because you probably are wondering how tall this guy is because literally in the canon, it was said that he is 10 foot tall. And I kind of like this design, so let's see how strongly it holds up with the notion that he's supposed to be 10 foot tall. Now, with actual legitimate sets, here's a Toa, which their current height is 5'4". That's the current height of Toa. So, even though, really, I think it's just 6 foot. I think they're 6 foot, so, I think it counts. I think it counts. Now let's go for something a little bit more recent. Here he is with Velika, with a Lesovic sword. If you get that reference, then good on you. Go ahead and mention in the comments if you know this reference. If you know the reference, then you know what is to come. Alright, so here he is right next to Velika. Alright. Okay, now, here he is with something Toa says as well. A Toa Metru build. So here he is with a Toa Metru build. As you can see, this guy's starting to look a little too short. You know, the plan was I might actually have to make this guy taller. I honestly think I might have to make this guy taller, but due to the mask of creation, you know, he has to be down at this scale for everything to be in proportion, because I don't want to give him a tiny mask, because make the body huge, and then the mask looks small in comparison, and it won't carry that much significance in the mask itself if I do it that way. But yeah, here you go. Here's a Metro build. Now for all of you newcomers, here he is with Tahu Uniter. I know that's not in the same generation. This is Gen 2. This is Gen 1 with a Gen 2 mask, but you get the idea. May look a little bit short.
I just had to say that I am happy with this figure. Turned out, I tried to balance out when it came to making the character gray and green. I wanted the character to most Artahka builds that you will see, they mostly emphasize on the gold so that it can match with the mask that he wears. But the thought process that I went with it is that his main color scheme is gray and green. So I wanted to replicate that as much as possible. And I used a Mata green, instead of the Metro green that Karzana uses, because he's very bright, very noble character. So having that brighter colors makes a great emphasis, and yeah, this is actually a good person and not a bad person. And when it came to balancing out the gold, since there was no gold whatsoever described in his color scheme, I just decided to do gold highlights, not trying to emphasize on gold so much. And I put it sparingly, some in the legs, some as the waist, some from the arms to the back, and some within the forearms itself. And it really helps with it going along well with the mask, because even though it doesn't really emphasize that, well, even though, it doesn't really make, it makes him wearing the Mask of Creation seem more prominent, much more powerful, because you got this large chunk of gold literally on his face, and it doesn't look like as if it's his original mask, because it was never actually his original mask, and he probably wore a mask prior before being winning the Mask of Creation after beating the heck out of his brother by going all hammer time or whatever. It makes a great contrast, similar to that of the Tuamata when they had their golden mask on, because it didn't match the color scheme whatsoever. The gold never did. And even though nowadays we always focus on color coordination and so forth, I try to, since even though this mask wasn't necessarily the first mask he was probably wearing at the time, at least make it have some traits be flowing well with the rest of his build, which is why I incorporated the gold. But yeah, that's about it for this video, so I will talk to you all next time.
Hello and welcome to the end of the video. If you liked it, be sure to go ahead and follow me on all sorts of social media, such as Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, Printerest, and even the TTV message boards. And also, I have Discord, so if you want to go ahead and check out my Discord server, be sure to go and click the link down below in the description. And also, I have Patreon as well, so go ahead and check out all the arts and crafts, among other things that I do over there, and I'm sure you will all love it. Anyways, I hope you liked this Artahka MOC, and of course, I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!